Before we go any further, we first want to thank our DJ, Josh Felton, from Bucket Brigade Team 2887. We also want to thank Kit Olson and all the staff here at Valley View Middle School for providing the space and all the support for FTC. Most of you probably don't know this, but this building is actually where FTC started in Minnesota. We're excited to see how much it's grown.
We'd also like to thank our demo teams, the Tempest, Robotic Surge, and Robotic Adrenaline. They've got some great robots. We'd also like to thank High Tech Kids for helping us bring you guys this event. I'm sure you're all as anxious and excited as we are to see what the new game will be. Hope you have a great morning and have a chance to learn something new. This is a great chance to meet new people that are involved with FTC. We now want to introduce Cheryl from High Tech Kids. For those of you who don't know, High Tech Kids is what runs at the FTC program in Minnesota. Let's welcome Cheryl.
But really all the learning that's going to happen today is going to be in those breakout sessions. So your teams can kind of divide up and conquer when you see all the stuff that Motorboats has arranged with a lot of the other FTC teams here in Minnesota today. So, the game reveal is not right now. All right, so right now, as of last night, when we left our office at 7 o'clock, we had 64 teams registered in Minnesota, which is awesome. That's about 14% more than we had last year. For those of you that are in the room that have not registered with FIRST, go home and do that when you get back today. Because we're planning, and if we know you're coming, we're going to plan more events. And so we need to know who's registered. I'll give you a little hint. You don't have to pay. You just need to register. We'll make sure you pay by October 1st, but for right now, we need to know that you're coming back if you're a returning team, and if you're a new team, you really want to know that you're coming. So who are we? We are High Tech Kids. We are a nonprofit partner of FIRST. Most of you probably know us from FIRST LEGO League. We've been doing that since 1998. But we're 3 people right now. We're myself, I'm the executive director, maybe Chief Hauler with my minivan, and then we've got Vicki Cody, who should be in the room right here. So anything about registrations and that kind of stuff, Vicki handles all that. So I prefer you to contact Vicki on that because she's got that real close to her. And then we've got Bethany Turek right here. And Bethany has now been with us a whole year, so we're so grateful for her support. She was instrumental in getting FTC off the ground for us and building those fields so many times. So she's also a mechanical engineering student at the University of Minnesota, getting her PhD in mechanical engineering. So she might be a good resource to ask some questions. And who we really are volunteers. There is no way we can do the work we do. This is a volunteer-run organization. All of you who are coaches, we consider you part of our volunteers, but we also count those event volunteers to help us referee and judge and computer support and all the many roles we have. So it's pretty cool to see what FIRST is, right? This is all a very grassroots effort, and we're just kind of pointing at people to help us get the work done. Our Minnesota sponsors, our presenting sponsor is Stratasys, and actually Tim Colleen is here someplace, maybe raise your hand to him. He's in the back. He's also an FTC coach. If you don't know, Stratasys makes 3D printers, which is a wonderful partner for us. And then Boston Scientific is a returning sponsor this year. They've been really helpful with us. We actually were instrumental in getting us a grant from the Argosy Foundation, which helped start 50 teams here in Minnesota. And I think 8 of those were FTC, and most of those are rookie teams. So we're really grateful for that relationship. And a new sponsor this year is the University of Minnesota's College of Science and Engineering. So we're glad to have them on board. We use so many of their volunteers and students there in our programs, and we're so happy to be a partner with them. And last, another new sponsor is St. Jude Medical. Glad to have them on board as well. And I don't think, is anyone here from St. Jude? Right, so those of you who are registering, I want you to be aware that we do have some, there is rookie grants available, and if you've already registered, you can still apply for those. new teams can get that registration fee waived. So make sure if you're a new team that you take advantage of that opportunity. PTC, which is a national sponsor of First Tech Challenge, also has grants. That deadline though is coming up really quick, September 12th. So if you're going to apply for that one, make sure you get that in done. We did give grants, as I referenced, to that RSC Family Foundation, and our grants have all been out. We've spent all the money. But if you're going to start a new team next year, I do encourage you to apply. It's for rookies only. So we want to help start new teams, those upfront costs. And our category that we really want to get going are all girls teams, or teams primarily made of girls, teams in urban or rural areas where we don't have a lot, and teams of kids of poverty or kids of color. Okay, qualifier registration. For those of you that did this last year, it's the same as last year. Teams can compete in 1 or 2 qualifiers. You can't complete in 3, just 1 or 2. And we're going to do registration in waves. So the first wave, you will pick your first tournament. The second wave, you can pick your second choice. And if you didn't get around to the first 2 waves, you can register in our third wave. Or teams from out-state Minnesota can come and register at that point for any openings we have. Vicki's going to be sharing information in our email blast, so it'll all be spelled out, all the details on that. But just be aware that you can register multiple times. Okay, tournaments. Right now, we are planning for 9. If our enrollment suddenly increases here, we could possibly do 11. The numbers we're looking at right now, we think 9 would give everybody a chance to play twice that is interested. So the tournaments are in November, December, and January. And our state tournament's going to be back at Carter Lake. We're partnering with Big King Tech and their sort of FTC teams there on February 21st. What's new this year is we're planning for 48 teams at state, so it'll be a bigger event. And then we're hoping to do the judging and some of that inspection on Friday, so I'd appreciate it if you're going to be going to state, planted, you're going to be there Friday evening. Advancement. What we've learned kind of from last year is that we need to kind of have our advancement percentages at the tournaments, our qualifiers be higher at the earlier events, because a lot of these really good teams competed twice, and a lot of those teams had already qualified for state. We don't have the numbers worked out yet. It depends on the number of tournaments, but we will have that information available when you register for tournaments. I was just informed yesterday from First that we were allotted 5 slots to super regionals. I hope it would be 6 or maybe more, but there's more states participating in First Tech Challenge, so then the pie gets a little smaller. So there's a slight possibility we might get another one, but right now we'll count on 5. So tips to advancing to state. Just some little interesting statistics that we noticed last year, that if your team had girls on it, you were more likely to advance to state. And it's probably not a surprise for those of you who have read anything about diversity in business. The more different outlooks you have, the more perspective you have, probably a better team you're going to be. So encourage a girl to join your team, and maybe have her invite a friend. There's my little plug here. So what's new this year, most of you probably experienced this when you register a team, that First has a new youth protection policy, and this has been instituted across all 4 programs. This is all a good thing. There's been some new IT systems along with it that's been a little bit of a challenge, just like anything is new. But what is new this year is that you should be able to register. Your parents can sign those permission slips online. Coaches are going to be sending an invite to your parents' email, and they're going to sign it. So any of you who have done sports sign-offs, it's kind of similar to that. And we'll have more information about that when it comes time to be registering them. Forms. Okay, so we're getting rid of that one form, although you still are welcome to do the paper form if a parent doesn't have an email. But we do still need to collect those demographic information. And the reason we collect it is not that we really care what your kids look like, but our grant funders require it. And that keeps the cost low for everyone. So, and we're really working hard to try to be more diverse, so those numbers do help us if we're making any impact. So that form, you may have answered those same questions when you register with First, but they unfortunately don't share it with us, so we need to ask you again. So there's just a heads up on that one. And you will have to print out the roster, and that's really no different than last year. We only need this information at the first tournament you come to. All right. new this year, or this is a little bit of a change, the Control Award is no longer optional. We're going to be awarding it at every tournament and at state, so there's one more award that we'll have to give away. And we are going to be doing the Stratasys 3D Printing Award again. So those of you who are rookie teams, you're encouraged to build a 3D printed part. We have lots of resources. There's a session later today that you can learn a little bit more how that can be done. And we do have access to a 3D printer at Leonardo's basement. Is Steve around, Jeffy? Not to get the game reveal. If you don't have one in your school, we do have materials and a way for you guys to get that printed out. All right, and something new this year from Stratasys is we're going to have some scholarship awards. These are for sophomores and juniors. One is going to be a 3D printing award, and the other one's going to be an engineering award. And this is actually really nice for you guys that are going to be going off to college, because this is something you can put as an award that you've won. We're kind of hoping that that will improve your chances for all those universities that you're applying to. We really want to recognize that hard work. The way it's going to be judged is an essay. So you're going to have to write something about your experience through FTC, and then we'll be announcing those at the state tournament. The applications are not on our website yet. We'll have them on there as soon as we got the whole thing figured out. So upcoming dates. One that I really would like to promote to all of you guys is Robotics Alley. It's coming up on September 16th and 17th. On September 16th, from 3:30 till 6 p.m., they're having a STEM showcase. And we've been at this event the last 3 years that they've had it. There are some awesome robots to see. Everything from pet robots to the ones that look like little humans. We have had teams doing demos there, and we actually have a need for one more FTC team to help us out. No, one. We're down to one. Yep. Talk to you later. So, well, the only qualification is we need your robot to work. We're going to play last year's block party. So, if your robot's not, we're playing around with it and it's not working anymore, we don't want you. We really want to demonstrate the whole game. Don Bosey is going to be there. He's the president of FIRST, so here's your chance to meet him and tell him how awesome your team is. However, the event is open to all of you, and all you need to do is sign up, and Robotics Alley wants to know who's coming. So if your robot's not working, but you just want to go see the cool robots, I encourage you to come. It's free, it doesn't cost any money. We've got information on our website you can go check out. Next, University of Minnesota is going to have a robotics event. Green Girls have put this together. There's flyers outside. This is a great chance for you guys to meet the robotics faculty at the University of Minnesota, which is well known for their robotics program. So keep that on your radar. And then they're having a race for robots. Lazy Bots and Green Girls are partnering on that. So chance to dress up like a robot, have some fun, get some exercise before the snow comes. And there's information, will be on our website, and there may be some flyers out there as well. And lastly, PTC is planning a design training to use the Creo software on November 8th at Dakota County Technical College. We don't have the times yet, but I think they can accommodate up to 80 people, so we'll be sharing information about that. All right, help. Some of you are probably overwhelmed already. If you're a new coach, you're thinking, how am I going to do this? So everybody who's a returning student or coach, please raise your hand. Cards, when you guys came in, that we're encouraging our experienced teams to fill out, you can give to the rookie team to offer to help. That's part of the work that you guys do in outreach. Those are your technical experts. They're all here. You can find some team websites, their Facebook, their Twitter on our website. We have links to them. If you go under fun stuff on our website, you can find it. If you call me and say, you know what, I want to meet that team that had the green shirts, that had that really cool robot, I can't tell you their name. One, I won't remember. And two, FIRST is not allowed to share coaches' information. It's a privacy thing. And I can spend all day long just asking people to lead teams. But if you teams put your website out there and have a contact us, people can find you. And that's really a good thing to get the word out. And if you're not on our social media, please fill out the form and get that so we can have it up there. The other person you need to know is Evan Hosteen. Is he in here? No, he's building the field. Okay, Evan is our senior mentor. He works for FIRST. He also coaches FTC. He's one of our